नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
देवकी नंदनाय च
देवकी नन्दनाय च
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
हरेर्नाम हरेर्नाम
हरे
नाम
हरे नामैव केवलम्
हरे नामैव केवलम्
औ नास्तेव नास्तेव
कलौ नास्तेव नास्तेव
नास्तेव गतिरन्यथा।
नास्ति
यथा
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य
ॐ
ॐ
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन
चक्षुरुन्मीलितं
येन
तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः।
तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः।
हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो
हे
हे कृष्ण
करुणा
करुणा सिन्धो
दीनबन्धो जगत्पते
दीनबन्धो जगत्पते
गोपेश गोपिकान्त
गोपेश गोपिका कान्त
राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते।
राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते
सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी
तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी
राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी
राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी
वृषभानुसुते देवी
वृषभानुसुते देवी
प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये।
प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च
कृपासिन्धुभ्येव
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमो विष्णुपादाय
नमो विष्णुपादाय
कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले
कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
स्वामिनिति नामिने।
स्वामिनेति नामिने
नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे
नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी
निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे।
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
सदी गौर भक्त वृंद।
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा
कृष्णा हरे हरे
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरे राम राम
राम हरे हरे।
राम राम हरे
Okay, welcome you all, Meenakshi, Mihika, and is Govinda, Kajal Shah is Govinda, right? And Nihal. Okay, if possible, you can keep your camera open now. Now I will share the screen. We'll continue reading from Shrimad Bhagvatam, Canto 1, Chapter 10, And today we'll begin from verse number 3.
Prabhuji, did you say chapter 10?
Yeah, chapter 10, Canto 1, chapter 1, departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka.
Okay, chapter 1.
No, sorry, chapter 10.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So all of you can, if possible, keep the camera on so I can. And our class, is interactive. So in between, I will tell you to read, and I'll ask you questions, and you're also gonna share your realization or your understanding after reading the purport. Okay. So we'll do that. Let me get the proper verse for today. So, as you know, the title of chapter 10 is Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. So now he has stayed enough in Hastinapur. He wants to go to Dwarka. And we did first two verses last time. Today we'll begin from text 3. Text 3, 4, 5, 6 describes about Yudhishthir Maharaj's reign, how he ruled the kingdom. Okay, so that is what we're gonna learn about it. And let us see if you can recite this verse after me. Nisamya Bhismoktam Atha Achyutoktam
Nishamya Bhishmoktam Athachutyukam
Pravruta Vijnana Viruddha Vibhramaha
Pravritta Vijnana Vidhuta Vibhramaha
Sasasagama Indra Ivajitasrayah
Shashagamendra iva jitashraya
Paridyu Paridyupantam Anujanuvartitah.
Anjuvartita.
Very good. Let us go word by word. Okay. So recite Nisamya
Nishamya
Bhismoktam.
Bhishmoktam
So this is a compound word. Bhismoktam means Bhisma Uktam. Like that. Atha
Atha
Achyuto Uktam.
Achyutoktuktam.
This is also compound word. There are three words. Atha, Achyut, and Uktam. Uktam means said. Achyut means refer to Lord Krishna. Okay. Pravrutta,
Pravritta
Vijnana,
Vijnana
Vidhuta,
Vidhuta
Vibhramaha,
Vibhrama
Sasasa,
Shashasa
Gam,
Gam
Indra,
Indra
Ivajitasrayah.
Ivajitashayah
This is again compound word. Eva and Ajita Asrayah. That is how you can separate it out. Okay. Paridyupantam
Paridyupantam
Anujanvartitah.
Anujanvartitah.
Very good. Now I will recite one more time. Recite after me, then you can recite. Okay. Nisamya Vismoktam Atha Achyutoktam
Nishamya Bhishmoktamata Achyutoktam
Pravrutta Vijnana Vidhuta Vibhramaha
Pravritta Vidhuta Vibhramaha
Sasasagam Indra Ivajitasrayah
Shashashagamindra Ivajitashayah
Paridyupantam Anujanuvartitah.
Paridyupantamanujanu
Okay. So Mihika, can you recite, and then I will tell Nihal, Meenakshi, and Govinda one by one. Okay. Go ahead.
Nishamya Bhishmoktamata Uchitoktam Pravritta Vijnana Vidhuta Vibhramaha Shashashagamindra Iva परिद्योपान्तमनुजानुवर्तितः.
Very good. Okay, Nihal.
निश्यामभक्तिमुक्तम् अत्युच्यतं प्रवृत्तविद्यं विधूतविभ्रमः सुसासगमिन्द्रमिवजितश्रयः परिधिरूपन्तं मनुजनुवर्तितः.
Very good. Meenakshi.
निशम्यभिस्मुक्तम् अथाक्युक्तोक्तं प्रवर्ता विज्ञा विधूता वभ्रमः ससास स गम इंद्र इवाजिताश्रया परिध्या उपान्तं अनुजनुवर्तितः.
Very good. Govinda.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Can you recite
I'm
the verse?
outside. I'm coming.
Oh, okay. Can you see the screen, Govinda?
Yes, Prabhuji. Nam
Nisamya
Nisamya
Bismoktam
Bismuktam
Athachutoktam
Atachutoktam
Pravrutta
Pravata
Vigyan
Prajnan
Viduta
Viduta
Vibhramaha
Vibramaha
Sasasa
Sasaha Grama
Indra
Indra Eva
Ivajitasrayaha
Evajitasaraha
Paridyupantam
Paridrupantam
Anujanuvartitaha.
Anuja Vantitata.
Very good.
Utitaha.
Okay. So now let's do word by word synonyms. Okay. Let's say, Nihal, you want to read those words and the translation?
Nishyam, after listening.
Nisamya.
Nishamya, after listening. Bhishma Uktam, what was spoken by Bhishma Deva. Atha, as also. Achutya Uktam, what was spoken by the infallible Lord Krishna. Pravritta, being engaged in. Vijnana, perfect knowledge. Vidhuta, completely washed. Vibhramaha, all misgivings. Sasaha, ruled over.
Sasasa. Sasasa.
Sasas,
Sasasa.
Sasasa, ruled over. Gam, the earth. Indra, the king of heavenly planet. Eva, like. Ajit, Ashrayaha, protected by the invincible Lord. Paridhi Upantam, including the seas. Anuja, the younger brothers. Anuvarita, being followed by them.
Anuvartitaha.
Anuvartitaha, being followed by them.
Very good. Okay, Meenakshi, can you read the translation?
Yes, Maharaj Yudhisthira, after being enlightened what was spoken by Bhishma Deva and Lord Shri Krishna, the infallible, engaged himself in matters of perfect knowledge because all his misgivings were eradicated. Thus he ruled over the earth and seas was followed by his younger brother.
Okay, so we learned previously also that after the war, Yudhishthir was lamenting, just like Arjuna was lamenting before beginning the war, right? That's why Bhagwan has to tell him Bhagavad Gita. But after the war, Maharaj Yudhishthir was in anxiety, and in reality, he was not ready to rule the kingdom, right? But still he did it. Why? Can somebody answer?
Prabhuji, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Maharaj Yudhishthir in the beginning was not ready to rule the kingdom. But later on, now that we see from this verse and onwards, that he has he had begun to rule the kingdom. Why?
Cause Krishna like told him.
Right. Very good. Very good. So this is the answer here. We can say that Maharaj Yudhishthir, after being enlightened means in before he was in anxiety. So that's why Bhismadev as well as Lord Krishna enlightened him. And though enlightened by what was spoken by Bhismadev. Remember in the previous chapter, Lord Krishna took Yudhishthir Maharaj to the Bhismadev where he was lying on the that bed, arrow bed, right? So there Bhismadev also imparted some knowledge. Yudhishthir have some questions and Bhismadev has answered it. So that Bhismoktam, that is why it is written here, Bhisma Uktam means said by Bhisma. And Atha Achyuto Uktam means Achyuta is referring to Lord Krishna. Why Lord Krishna is Achyuta? Can someone tell? Why is Achyuta? Which Achyuta means in English it is infallible. The
Cause
Lord Krishna,
nobody can beat like nobody can make Krishna lose or like can exceed Krishna or even like match Krishna.
right? So basically, Lord Krishna is infallible because he never falls down like human being. In other words, he keeps his vows and his position is transcendental. Transcendental means above the modes of material nature. He is divine, so he will never fall down. That is why he is infallible. Uh, so here, after hearing from Bhismadev and Lord Krishna, Maharaj Yudhishthir engaged himself in matter of perfect knowledge because all his misgivings were eradicated. And therefore, then he ruled over the earth and seas, was followed by his younger brother. Who are his younger brothers?
The Pandavas.
Maharaj
Ar-
Yudhishthir younger brother.
Arjuna,
Uh-huh.
Arjuna, Bhima, Sahadev, and Sahadev
Nakul.
and Nakul.
Okay, very good. So these are the four brothers. They were also like cabinet ministers and stuff. So he ruled over earth and seas. What does it mean by earth and seas?
The entire planet.
Entire earthly planet. So you can see 5,000 years ago, the ruling was done from Hastinapur, which is now known as Delhi in India. The whole earthly planet, king was ruling the whole earthly planet. Of course, there were some subordinate kingdom, but they were all obeying the rules and regulations that is given by the king of Hastinapur, which is present day Delhi. Okay, all right. So let's say, Mihika, can you read the purport?
Yes, Prabhuji. The modern English law of primogeniture, or the law of inheritance by the firstborn, was also prevalent in those days when Maharaj Yudhishthira ruled the earth and seas. In those days, the king of Hastinapur, now part of New Delhi, was the emperor of the world, including the seas, up to the time of Maharaj Parikshit, the grandson of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Maharaj Yudhishthira's younger brothers were acting as his ministers and commanders of state, and there were full cooperation between the perfectly religious brothers of the king. Maharaj Yudhishthira was the ideal king or representative of Lord Sri Krishna to rule over the kingdom of earth and was comparable to King Indra, the representative ruler of the heavenly planets. The demigods like Indra, Chandra, Surya, Varuna, and Vayu are representative kings of different planets of the universe, and similarly, Maharaj Yudhishthira was also one of them, ruling over the kingdom of the earth. Maharaj Yudhishthira was not a typically unenlightened political leader of modern democracy. Maharaj Yudhishthira was instructed by Bhishma Dev and the infallible Lord also, and therefore he had full knowledge of everything in perfection. The
Okay.
modern, okay.
What is it? Yeah. So here something is said about Maharaj Yudhishthir. Can you describe in brief?
So, Prabhuji, in like what's like said about Maharaj Yudhishthir in this purport is that in those days of Maharaj Parikshit, um, Maharaj Parikshit used to rule the seas and earth, the entire earthly planet, because the king of Hastinapur would be the emperor of the entire world, which was applied till Maharaj Parikshit's time, but then was not applied. Um, and then Maharaj Yudhishthir's younger brothers, like all four, they were acting as the ministers or like basically presidents of the other states, and there was perfectly like full cooperation between the brothers and the emperor, and like it was you can compare the kingdom that how Maharaj Yudhishthira used to rule the kingdom can be compared to Lord Indra or King Indra. So Maharaj Yudhishthira was basically one of them because he was ruling the earth very nicely, and he is basically an ideal ideal model for a king, how a king should be, because he had religious practices. He was a devotional leader, and he also like had full knowledge. So he's like a perfect um role model for being a king.
Very good, Priyanka. Thank you so much. So basically, in this paragraph, Prabhupada started glorifying Maharaj Yudhishthir, how he was ruling, helped by his younger brothers in full cooperation. Uh, so we will now onwards will see how successfully Maharaj Yudhishthir ruled his kingdom. So next paragraph, Minakshi, can you read the next paragraph?
Yes, Babuji. The modern elected executive head of a state is just like a puppet because he has no kingly power. Even if he is enlightened like Maharaj Yudhisthira, he cannot do anything out of his own good will due to his constitutional position. Therefore, there are so many states over the earth quarreling like because of ideological differences or other selfish motives. But a king like Maharaj Yudhisthira had no ideology of his own. He had but to follow the instructions of the infallible Lord and the Lord's representative and the authorized agent Bhishma Deva. It is instructed in the Sastras that one should follow the great authority and the infallible Lord without any personal motive and manufactured ideology. Therefore, it was possible for Maharaj Yudhisthira to rule the whole world, including the seas, because the principles were infallible and universally applicable to everyone. The conception of one world state can only be fulfilled if we follow the conception of the worlds of one world state can only be fulfilled if we follow the infallible authority. An imperfect human being cannot create an ideology acceptable to everyone. Only the perfect and the infallible can create a program which is applicable at every place and can be followed by all in the world. It is a person who rules and not the impersonal government. If the person is perfect, the government is perfect. If the person is a fool, the government is a fool's paradise. That is the law of nature. There are so many stories of imperfect kings or executive heads. Therefore, the executive head must be trained person like Maharaj Yudhisthira, and he must have the full autocratic power to rule over the world. The conception of a world state can take shape only under the regime of a perfect king like Maharaj Yudhisthira. The world was happy in those days because there were kings like Maharaj Yudhisthira to rule over the world.
Very good, Meenakshi. Thank you so much. So, what do you find in this paragraph, Meenakshi? Highlight some. Can you highlight some points?
So it technically talks about how like everyone in this world like cannot like be like a perfect like king, and how there are many like stories of like imperfect people, and that the world would become a lot better if there were more kings like Yudhishthira.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, very good. So basically, the comparison is given here by Srila Prabhupada between the modern day rulers and the Maharaj Yudhishthir, right? Because in the previous paragraph, Prabhupada has started hinting about, he said that this was not a typically unenlightened political leader, like what we have in uh, now. Situation is that the leaders are not familiar with the Shastric injunction, so they cannot probably rule perfectly like Maharaj Yudhishthir. And that point was emphasized here, that Maharaj Yudhishthir, comparison is given between Maharaj Yudhishthir and present day ruler of the country, like that. So, because that ideology means the thing is that we have to remember that one should not have their own personal motivation. Leader should not have their own personal motivation, because they cannot rule properly, and that is what is going on right now. See, before we will hear more about in the next verses to come, that how people were very happy in the kingdom of Hastina. I mean, when Maharaj Yudhishthira was ruling the whole earth. So this fact is presented here in this verse, because impersonal government and personal, because government may be impersonal, but behind the government there is a person, that was. So that is the lesson that we can take, that whatever is happening, the person is there, without. So God is not impersonal, God is personal, just like here kingdom is everybody, like Maharaj Yudhishthir and his brother ruling, but it is not like an impersonal government. There are person, those who are ruling uh, and making the laws and rules like that. Similarly, in this, in order to this material universe, Lord has made some rules, so that rule has to be abided, because without rule, nothing can be ruled properly. And the rule made by Bhagwan is called actually dharma, religion. Dharmam to sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Bhagavat pranitam, Lord made the rules and regulations, the laws. Just like in a country or a state or a city, government makes rule how to live citizens in that particular city or nation or country, So similarly, God has made also rules how to live all living entity like human being. There are so many living entities, 8.4 million species, and there are 6 kinds of species. Anybody remember 6 kinds of species? Human
Those
is
I
one
don't
of them.
remember all of them, but human, bird,
Okay.
marine like fish and all, the
Yeah.
animals, and then
Animal,
like reptiles,
reptiles, there are.
amphibians, and those insects and trees. See,
Yes.
trees and insects.
Reason. Yes, yes, yes. So these are basically, I think you may have learned that verse before. I don't know. You can decide after me if you like. Jalajanavalakhani
Jalajavalakhani
Sthavara Laksvimsati
Stavala Lakshavimsati
Rumayo Rudra Sankhyaka
Sankhya
Maksinam Dasalakshanaha
Makshinamdalakshanaha
Ismal Lakhani Pasavaha.
Ishalakshani
Trismal.
Pashavaha
Trismal means 30 lakhs. Trismal Lakhani Pasavaha means animal, and Chatur Lakhani Manavaha. So it is a calculation of 8.4 million. So 8.4 million is, in our language we call 84 lakhs. 84 lakhs uni. So 9 lakh is aquatic. Okay? 20 lakh is trees and plants and creepers and like that. 11 lakhs is insects, reptiles, everything. 10 lakhs bird, 30 lakhs animals, and only 4 lakhs human being. Okay, so these are the living entity, the species, 6 category, but the total number is 84 lakhs, or you can say 8.4 million. Okay, all right. So let's go to the next verse. 110.4. Please recite after me. Very nice verse here. Kamam pavarsa parjanya. Kamam vavarsa parjanya.
Vavarsa parjanya
Sarva kama dudamahi.
kama dugamahi
Sarva kama dudamahi. Dugamahi.
sarva kama dugamahi
Sichuhu sma vrajan gavaha.
Chusmadvarajan gava
Sichuhu sma vrajan gavaha.
Chusmadvarajan gava
Vayoso dvasvatirbuddha.
Payasodasvatibudha.
Okay, one more time. Kamam vavarsa parjanyaha.
Kamam vavasya parjanya
Sarva kama dugamahi.
sarva kama dugamahi
Sichuhu sma vrajan gavaha.
Sisichuhu smavarajan gava
Vayoso dasvatirmuda.
Payasodhas asvatimudha.
So you all can decide one by one. Who wants to start first?
Get Mihika.
Okay. Go ahead. Mega.
Kamam vavarsa parjanya sarva kama dugamahi shishu chusma vrajan gava paya shodashvatir muda.
Very good. Meenakshi.
Kamam vavarsa parjanyaha sarva kama dugamahi sisichuhu smavrajan gava payasodha swatirmudha.
Very good. Nihal.
Kamam varvarusha parjanya sarva kama dugamahi sisichusma vrajangava payasodashtvir muda.
Very good. Govinda.
Kamavarsaparanyaha sarvakarma dugamuhi sichuha samavrajagavaha payashoda hasa odaha swatir mudam.
Okay, very good. Govinda, can you read this synonym here?
Kamaha, everything needed.
Vavarsa.
Vavasha was shore.
Soured. Was soured.
Showered. Parjanya, rains. Sarva, everything. Kama,
Necessities.
necessities. Duga, producer. Mahi, the land. Sichua,
Sichuhusma.
Sama, motion. Vraja, pasturing ground. Gavaha, the cows. Papayas udaswiti, do the swollen milk bags. Muda, because of a joyful attitude.
Very good. Okay, Mehika, can you read the translation?
During the reign of Maharaja Yudhishthira, the clouds showered all the water that people needed, and the earth produced all the necessities of man in profusion. Due to its fatty milk bag and cheerful attitude, the cow used to moisten the grazing ground with milk.
Very good. So a very nice description about what was happening during the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthir, that everybody was cooperating like cloud, nature was cooperating fully. And we will find out that in a purport in very detail. Okay. So next purport, can Meenakshi read it?
Yes, Prabhuji. The basic principle of economic development is centered on land and cows. The necessities of human society are food grains, fruits, milk, minerals, clothing, wood, etc. One requires all these items to fulfill the material needs of the body. Certainly, one does not require flesh and fish or iron tools and machinery. During the regime of Maharaja Yudhishthira, all over the world there were regulated rainfalls. Rainfalls are not in the control of the human being. The heavenly king Indradeva is the controller of rains, and he is the servant of the Lord. When the Lord is obeyed by the king and the people under the king's administration, there are regulated rains from the horizon. And these rains are the causes of all varieties of production on the land. Not only do these not only do regulated rains help ample production of grains and fruits, but when they combine with astronomical influences, there is ample production of valuable stones and pearls. Grains and vegetables can sumptuously feed a man and animals, and the fatty cow delivers enough milk to supply a man sumptuously with vigor and vitality. If there is enough milk, enough grains, enough fruit, enough cotton, enough silk, and enough jewels, then why do people need cinemas, houses of prostitution, slaughterhouses, etc.? What is the need of an artificial, luxurious life of anything but quarreling individually and nationally? Has this civilization enhanced the cause of equality and fraternity by sending thousands of men into a hellish factory and the war fields at the whims of a particular man?
Very good, Meenakshi. Nice. So here the description of how in Maharaj Yudhishthir during his reign, how nature has cooperated. Can you briefly describe what you have read?
Me, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Meenakshi.
Oh, so the text is mostly talking about like if we have like the necessities that we need, like then why do we need a luxurious life? And like how like regulated like rainfalls like and all that, it only happens like under the service of Lord Krishna, and how Lord Krishna is like the controller of everything.
Mhm. So who is responsible for rain?
Lord Krishna.
Indra.
Lord Indra, right? But Lord Indra was obeying Krishna, and that is why everything was happening properly. So very nice description. I will tell Nihal to read the next paragraph. Nihal, can you read the next paragraph?
Okay.
Everybody should listen carefully because I'm going to ask you them. Nihal, can you read
It
the
is
next paragraph?
it is said here that the cows are used to moisten the pasteurizing land with milk because the milk bags were fatty and the animals were joyful. They do not require, therefore, proper protection for a joyful life by being fed with a sufficient quantity of grass in the field. Why should men kill cows for their selfish purposes? Why should man not be satisfied with grains, fruits, and milk, which combined together can produce hundreds and thousands of palatable dishes? Why are the slaughterhouses all over the world to kill innocent animals? Parikshit Maharaj, grandson of Maharaj Yudhishthira, while touring his last vast kingdom, he saw a black man attempting to kill a cow. The king once arrested the butcher and chastised him sufficiently. The king once arrested. Should not a king or executive head protect the lives of the poor animals who are unable to defend themselves? Is this humanity? We are not allowed. We are not the animals or of a country's citizens also. Then why are they allowed to be butchered in organizing slaughterhouses? Are these the signs of equality, fraternity, and violence?
Non-violent. Okay, very good. Nihal, so can you describe briefly what you have read?
I read that how people kill and do things for their own selfish purposes, and we should only take the things we need instead of being selfish.
Mhm. So Prabhupada points out here a simple way of living life, and he was mentioning there should not be slaughterhouses because the nature, when Lord Krishna satisfied, then nature is cooperating, and what the man need basically grain, fruit, milk, and they are all given by the nature. And since the leader kingdom, uh, any kingdom ruled by any good king, then everything will be in a proper order, and there is no necessity of killing animals. That is what is mostly stressed here, that human being, at least vegetarian, right? All they need is grain, fruits, vegetables, rains, and everything is uh, given by nature. And nature is the Prakriti, which is mother in a way. And Lord Krishna gives the seed for everything, as he mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, that Aham Bija Prada Prita means he is the seed giving father, and material nature is the mother. Mother Earth gives. In fact, also we can say that Mother Earth is like sort of a wife of Vishnu. So, in that context, also, when Earth planet is ruled by a king in a proper way, then if Earth is happy, you know, then the Vishnu will be happy. And then by nature, everything will be provided sufficiently for the uh, for the human being as well as all other species like animal, birds, and everybody in that sense.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Okay.
So let's say if a tiger kills a bunny for his own, like to eat, is that considered as karma?
I mean, for tiger kills somebody to eat, uh, it is a karma, but that tiger, see, certain species are allowed to, because every species have their own food. Tiger have their own food. So if tiger kills someone, it is not a sinful for her. It is a karma, but that is a prescribed karma. Prescribed means that karma is given to him, by which he will not incur the sin. In fact, any other unit except human, they will not accrue the results of karma, whatever they do, because they are called bhog yoni. Means whatever they are doing, it's just by nature, whatever the Lord has prescribed them. While in human form of life, if we do the sinful activity, kill the animal, then it is sinful for us. We get a reaction for it.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. Anybody else have any question? Okay, so last paragraph, Mehika, can you read it?
Okay, proceed. Therefore, in contrast with the modern advanced civilized form of the government, an autocracy like Maharaj Yudhishthira's is by far superior to a so-called democracy in which animals are killed and a man less than an animal is allowed to cast votes for another less than animal man. We are all creatures of material nature. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Lord Himself is the seed giving Father, and material nature is the mother of all living beings in all shapes. Thus, mother material nature has enough foodstuff both for animals and for men by the grace of the Father Almighty Sri Krishna. The human being is the elder brother of all other living beings. He is endowed with intelligence more powerful than animals for realizing the course of nature and the indications of the Almighty Father. Human civilization should depend on the production of material nature without artificially attempting economic development to turn the world into a chaos of artificial greed and power only for the purpose of artificial luxuries and sense gratification. This is but the life of dogs and hogs.
Very good. Can you summarize the last paragraph?
So Prabhuji, it basically says that how Maharaj Yudhishthira, under Maharaj Yudhishthira's ruling, like everyone was very happy. But nowadays, it's like a person is allowed to vote for another person. Basically, animals are voting for animals. So it's like not as like it's not supposed to be this way. It's supposed to be how Maharaj Yudhishthira used to rule um the entire world. And then it also, in the next paragraph, it says that we all are the creatures of material nature, and Krishna is our seed-giving father, almighty father, and the material nature is our mother, who has enough food stuff for both us and animals. So there's no lack of food or anything. But there's a difference between humans and animals, because humans have intelligence which is more than animals, and the reason why we have more intelligence is to find the real goal of life. So we should like actually not live the life of dogs and hogs, which is to like always do eating and sleeping and like four main activities that both animals and humans do. We should actually realize the course of nature and also the indications like Bhagavad Gita and Shrimad Bhagvatam of Sri Krishna.
Mhm. Good. Anybody have any questions on this verse? Okay. So we'll go to the next one. We will recite, and if it is incomplete, we will complete next time. This is also another verse in continuation of the glorification of Maharaj Yudhishthir's, how he rules his kingdom. Okay, so in this verse, it will be more in relation to the nature. Okay, so please recite after me. Nadyah samudra girayah
Nadya Sumadra Giraya
savanaspatiir viruddhah
Savanaspati Virudha
Phalanti ausadaya sarvaha
Palanti Osadhaya Sarva
kamam anvrutu tasya vai
Kama Manvurtu Tasyavai
nadyah samudra girayah
Nadya Samudra Giraya
savanaspati viruddhah
Savanaspati Virudha
Phalanti ausadayah sarvaha
Palanti Osadhaya Sarvaha
kamam anuvrutu tasya vai.
Kama Manurvatru Tasyavai.
Okay, so who want to recite? Govinda. Okay, let's Govinda go first.
Nadaya samudra griyaha
Agiraya Savanaspati Virudha Palanti
Yas asodaya sarvaha kama anivrutu tasya vahi.
Very good. How about Nihal? Nihal
Nadya Samudra
Viruddha.
Viruddha.
Nadyah samudra girayah
Nadya Samudra Giraya
Nadya Samudra Girayah Sava
Spati Vidha
Savanti Virudaha
Palanti
Palanti
Osadhaya
Odhaya
Sarva
Sarvo Kamam
Manarvatu Tasyava.
Okay, very good. Meenakshi. Meenakshi, are you there? Meenakshi has left.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Who is Soumit?
Ah,
New person?
yes,
Soumit?
yes,
Yeah. Can you recite the verse?
yeah. Nadia Samudra Giraya Savanaspati Virudha Phalanti Osadhaya Sarva Kama Manurvatu Tasyava.
Very good, Swami. You are very nice. I didn't see you, but your camera is off.
Yeah, I just joined.
Oh, you just done. But that's okay. You can keep your camera on if you want.
It doesn't work. It keeps saying my browser doesn't have access.
Oh, okay. So I think Meenakshi left. So Mihika, can you read this?
Okay, Prabhuji. Nadyah samudragirayah savanaspaतिविरुदः
Phalanti
फलन्ति ओषध्यः सर्वाः कामम्
Kama
अन्वितो
Manurvatu
तस्य
Tasyava.
मे.
Very good. So I think from it is very evident that somebody, what is Nadyaha means? Anybody
God.
know the, huh?
God.
Nadyaha means river. And Samudra means
Water.
ocean. And Girayaha means,
Hills
Giri.
and mountains.
okay. Let's read this word to word. Okay, Somit, can you read it? Because you joined new here. Can you read it?
Nadia rivers, Samudra oceans, Giraya hills and mountains, Savanaspati vegetables, Virudha creepers, Phalanti active, Osadhya drugs, Sarva all common necessities, onward to seasonal, Tasya for the king, why certainly.
Very good.
Hey, you listen.
Very good, Somit. Somit, can you also read the translation?
The rivers, oceans, hills, mountains, forests, creepers, and active drugs in every season pay the taxed quota to the king in profusion. Hey, you,
Very good.
let's.
So here further glorification of Maharaj Yudhishthir is given that how all these uh, rivers, ocean, hills, mountains, forests, because from there you get so many things like what do you get from river?
Water.
Water. What do you get from ocean?
Water.
Water also, but so many other things also you get from the ocean. Sometimes you get a jewels, minerals.
Someone is sending chat messages.
What do you get from the hills? Many minerals, hills and mountains. What do you get from the forest?
A forest you get like shade
Yeah,
of fruit.
yeah, there are trees in the forest, so you get a fruit. Very good. Very good. And what do you get from creepers?
Creepers you don't get nothing.
Vegetables and stuff like that, right? And drugs, you can use it
Yes.
as a medicine, right? And then we have a season. According to the season, you will get a fruits, vegetables, everything, and that is how uh, they were giving this to the king in profusion, a lot of things, so because they were happy with the ruling of Maharaj Yudhishthir. So next time we will discuss the purport. We will stop here today. Thank you very much for joining. I will take the screen off and say goodbye to everyone. Let's recite our Vancha Kalpataru prayer. Vancha Kalpataru Vyascha Nasindubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you very much. We'll see you next Tuesday. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.